handful of wonderful heirloom recipes that I cook often with great feeling, but the one that stands out the most is an old hen pastina brodo, an old hen chicken soup with a little teeny round pasta called pastina like that. And that's probably the first solid food a little Italian kid like me eats, and I just love these to death. You know, we would take the oldest chicken in the chicken coop that was done laying and begins to get ornery and just kind of peck on kids' toes, and we'd cook her up forever and ever in the oven until she released all of her flavor into this soup, and it's just a wonderful memory that would just fill up the entire house with her aroma. And it's the easiest soup in the world to make. All you do is give the chicken a good rinse with some fresh cold water. You go in a nice sized stock pot, and you add to it some carrots and onions and celery. I like a bay leaf and a little bit of tomato puree. It could be fresh tomato during tomato season or a little canned tomato if you can your own, just to go in there with. And fill the pot up about 2/3 of the way up the chicken with some fresh cold water. And you bring it up to the simmer on the stove top. Once it comes up to a simmer and you give it a little bit of a skim, you go right into the oven. And you go into a 325-degree oven covered. And how long? Well, until the chicken is done, until it's really almost falling off the bone. This chicken needs to almost fall apart. Once you pull the pan out of the oven, you gently turn the chicken over so the breast is submerged in the liquid. So as it takes a breath in, as it cools, it's bringing in some of the broth, and it'll stay really moist and tender. And then after it cools almost to room temperature, you get a couple of large utensils and pull the bird out and set it right onto a platter to cool a little bit. While the chicken's cooling, you take that broth and you strain it through a fine mesh strainer into a bowl, go back into the pot, bring it up to a simmer, season it with a little salt and pepper, and add some pastina right to the pot. And while the pastina's cooking, the little teeny round pastas, these are like the first pasta, a little first solid food a little Italian kid would eat. So we all have really great fond memories of them, or at least any Italians out there do. And as the pasta is cooking, we're just going to gently shred the chicken into some big pieces. So when the pasta is done, the chicken goes back in the pot with a handful of greens from wherever. You know, we love wild mustard greens to go in, but you could put spinach, any of the cooking greens, any greens at all could go in, or some fresh herbs if you'd like. And you serve it. And these are the types of dishes, actually my daughter Gianna, it's her favorite dish. Probably 2 out of 10 things that I cook for her are this little pastina soup. So her and her friends and I will sit around and have this soup, and I'll pass the memories on from when I was a kid to her. So my heirloom is passed then on to her, and it becomes one of hers.